All right, this is like take 3 because I keep running into people or noise. Everyone's out right now. The weather's pretty crazy, guys. It's fall colors. Everything's kind of getting cold here. But yeah, this is episode 5. For all the people who've been watching so far and engaging, liking the video, and messaging me about this series, thank you so much. It's kind of inspired me to continue making more of these, and we're eventually moving forward to a more formal podcast with Gonzalo, my partner. We've already got the setup, we've got the mics. So that's going to be coming soon, where we're going to dive into these topics a lot more deeply and really share the science with you all, because that's what I'm about. This is episode 5, like I just said. So we're going to start talking about a topic that, is really misinformed to the public. So this is going to be cardio. So we're going to talk about cardio this episode, and I'm going to talk about the types of cardio I recommend for optimizing fat loss. And that's what this series is about. It's about optimizing fat loss, right? So you can see right now, this is the cardio I do. Look, walking. That's the best form of cardio for preserving muscle and burning fat, in my opinion. And it's not just my opinion. This is the opinion of many other people. Many bodybuilders do it like this. The research shows that if you do slow, steady state cardio, you preserve the most muscle. So this is really the best muscle preserving cardio, because if your goal is to optimize burning fat, running and going and playing a bunch of sports and pick up basketball with your boys on the weekend is going to burn muscle. Which, look, it's one thing to be healthy, but if we're talking strictly about optimizing fat burn, this is the kind of cardio that optimizes fat burn. So this prep I did mostly walking. I did incorporate a lot of tennis though when I was deeper in the cut. Tennis was, for me, it made the cardio more fun, and with the whole corona thing, my workouts were suffering. I was mainly working out with bands, which we have many people getting the jobs done with bands, guys, but nothing beats the gym, of course. I mean, I think you guys understand that. That should be common sense. There's nothing like going to the gym and using real heavy weight to build muscle. That's the best type of gym routine you can do. I talk about gym routines in my last video, so if you haven't checked out the last video, go check that out, because that's more important than this. The reason that I have cardio at episode 5 is because that should not be the start of your workout routine. If you're trying to lose a ton of weight and you've got over 10 pounds to lose, cardio is not, I repeat, is not what you should be focusing on, especially if you're trying to optimize fat loss. Get yourself on a resistance training program. Go back and watch the episodes before this, because you need to see it if you think starting a fat loss phase needs to start with cardio. Or you can just feel free to DM me. We will do all the heavy taking for you. We will write you a plan, a nutrition plan, a corrective exercise plan, and eventually a cardio program. And that's kind of what I want to get into this video. I say eventually because cardio should not be the start of your program. And this might be a little bit longer of a video, because I'm going to talk about optimizing health too. So we're going to talk about a couple different forms of cardio. For now, I just want to talk about optimizing fat loss, because that's what the point of this series is. Now, doing cardio is good for your health. There's no denying that. So first we'll talk about optimizing fat loss, and then I'll talk about just being healthy in general, what I recommend. So for now, for optimizing fat loss, like I said before, I stick to walking because the goal is to optimize burning fat. You want to put as much energy as you can in the gym. I'm walking right now after I worked out. You always want to work out first. You always want to lift as heavy as you can first. You want to make the intensity as hard as you can make it in the gym with resistance, because that is going to build muscle. What I am doing right now does not build muscle. It doesn't. It just doesn't provide that stimulus that you need to really grow your muscles. And that's just kind of how it goes, unfortunately. So the way I recommend doing cardio is you bring it in. When you hit that wall, whenever, you're not losing weight at the speed you want to anymore. And this happens a couple months when you're a couple months in the diet. So I don't believe that you should start a weight loss plan and start running 5 or 6 miles and then running yourself to the ground, because what you're doing is you're taking the intensity and you're putting it up here. The intensity should be up here when you already have a six-pack and you're still trying to lose weight. The way you need to take these diets is slowly, one step at a time. Get yourself in the gym, watch the last video, get on a workout routine, start making it work for you, because that's going to do you so much more than starting with cardio. Eventually you will get to the point where the diet is not getting you the weight loss you want, and your gym routine is not getting you, the weight loss that you want. So now what's going on is the metabolism is slowly starting to slow down, right? That's normal. Your body is going to start fighting you. You've been dieting now for likely many weeks. And the way the body adapts is by lowering your metabolism so that you don't continue to lose weight. Your body thinks technically you're starving, if that makes sense. So how is your body going to respond? If it thinks there's a famine, if it thinks there's no food coming, the easiest way to respond is to bring down the metabolism so that you can live off of less food, right? That's how it goes. That's kind of just how it works. And now the only way to continue dropping weight is either to take more food. You can take away more food, which is the absolute last thing I recommend to do, or you can just do this. It's not hard. Start with like this, 3 times 30 minutes a week. Nothing too crazy. Just get it going. And now your deficit is increasing. So you haven't taken away food yet. All you've done is increase your deficit by adding some cardio, right? That's super easy to do, guys. Nothing complicated. I'm not running sprints. I'm not going uphill. I'm not doing intense amounts of sports where I run the risk of injuring myself because I'm already on a calorie deficit or running my joints to the ground. Guys, I was in the PT clinic a few weeks back for my outpatient orthopedic clinical, and I didn't see anyone who was there at the outpatient clinic for squatting, for deadlifting, for lifting weights. All the people I saw who were injured, and most of the people I saw had knee injuries, was from running, okay? And I get mad because I feel sorry, because it's, I see so many people joining our program, and I see so many people just killing themselves doing large amounts of cardio for no reason. And then they wonder why they can't lose any weight. And I'm like, dude, it makes no sense. And I used to be there. This is why I'm kind of passionate about this, because I was a high-level tennis player, guys. I've done the large amounts of cardio. I've done stupid amounts of cardio. I did so much cardio, guys, that I broke both of my feet. When I say I was an athlete, I had the athlete mentality. I pushed it way over the top. And when I played tennis, guys, that was the worst my physique has ever looked. I had no muscle. I was weak. And I was good at tennis. Yeah, I was optimizing my training for my sport, which we did an excellent job at doing. My dad was my coach. My tennis training was optimized for tennis. And you can see how most tennis players actually look. They have, a tall, lanky build. And that's really the physique that gets you far in tennis. Even though it's starting to change nowadays, tennis players have gotten a lot bigger, and a lot of them are very strong. They don't look it, but if you go on Instagram and you start looking up some of these athletes, they're all doing heavy weightlifting. Guys, strength training is the best form of training you can do for your body if you're doing a sport as well. The way I recommend incorporating it into a sport is you do your strength training and you keep focusing on your sport. And it's good to incorporate some kinds of off seasons, but that's for another video. We're going on a tangent right now. Sorry, guys. I'm getting unfocused, but okay, back to the main topic. So yeah, guys, back on to strength training. If you want to increase your metabolism, if you want to be a fat burning machine, that's what we're about creating here. That's what our program is about, becoming a fat burning machine. Guys, I'm eating so much food nowadays, I literally cannot gain weight. If you run this script, if you run this transformation series and you take the advice I'm giving you guys right now and run it for yourself, I promise you those 40, 50 pounds that you're trying to lose can come off. It's not complicated, guys. We have so many people who I thought would have no background too. We're talking beginners, and they are absolutely smoking the results that I did. Okay, guys, so this is something like what you saw that I did in the last, I repeat, 8 months, took 8 months. But I've been lifting now for 7 years. You guys got to commit to the long run. It takes time to put on muscle, but once you do, you get to eat so much more food. Guys, I'm telling you, the amount of food I'm eating right now is ridiculous because I committed to those 7 years of putting myself in the gym, not running. Putting myself in the gym, guys. That's really going to get you far in terms of, increasing your metabolism because you're adding more muscle, being that you can eat more food, and you can burn more fat. And that's why I kind of stick to this kind of cardio because that's what it optimizes. I don't play tennis like I used to anymore, even though I really feel like if I did right now, I would be the best I've ever been. It's just that, I don't have a lot of people to play with out here, and with school and everything, it's really tough to manage. But let's kind of talk about the different form of cardio that I also did use, since I did say I played a lot of tennis. We did do tennis. The way I would kind of describe this kind of cardio, and this is the kind of cardio that I did in 2014 before I actually I came to PT school. I was a trainer at a Gold's Gym before, so I've been a trainer now for a very long time. Was training a lot of people out there, and at that point I did a transformation like I did now. I didn't make it as far, and I think this was the factor that led me to not getting all the way as far as I could. When I dropped that year, I think I ended up dropping only to like 183, and right now I'm sitting at 171 after a reverse diet. So I dropped about close to 15 more pounds. And at the end of my, fat loss phase, I only did this kind of cardio because the intensity was too much, except I was walking like 2 hours a day. But yeah, we'll talk about high intensity interval training. That's the other form of cardio I do. I don't do it too often, but when I was playing tennis, I would say that's more high intensity because I'm at a high level. So I like to play with people who are at a higher level. So when you're hitting the ball back and forth 20, 30, 40 times and you're putting each other to run, that's more high intensity. And, this kind of cardio, you can really burn a lot of calories. It's a little bit more demand on the muscles. So it is better for muscle preserving. At the expense, your intensity is a lot higher. So my favorite ways to kind of do this kind of cardio, this is more of your athletic type cardio. But if you're really trying to optimize fat loss and build muscle and you're starting out new, I recommend just walking, guys. If you only have 10 minutes at the gym to do cardio, then HIIT cardio or high intensity interval training, we'll call it HIIT from now on, is the best kind of cardio you can do because you want to optimize your time now and still get that cardio in. So the way I recommend doing it at the gym, and this is what I would do 10 rounds, 1 minute of walking, and then here's the kicker, guys, 30 seconds of sprinting. So you rest for double the time, and you go all intensity for half the time, if that makes sense. And I would do about 10 sets of that, guys, and it's only about 10 minutes, a little bit longer. I think that's about 15 minutes. But, at that point, by the end of it, you're completely gassed. And I think the reason I wasn't able to go as far that year when I did my transformation was because it was just too intense, guys. I got to the point where I stopped recovering, and I couldn't push it any harder. Doing this kind of cardio here where you're walking doesn't do much damage to you guys. You can still hit the gym really hard. And when you get to the end of your, optimizing your fat loss plan, or you're really at the end and you have abs and you're really trying to push it, guys, your body stops recovering. So you really don't want to be, if you do high intensity interval training, you're running a very high risk of getting injured, like an extremely high risk. And that's not where you want to be. You don't want to get to the end of this and then injure yourself. That's the last thing you want to do. So the other way that I like to do this form of training, high intensity interval training, is by doing boxing. When I was working there, they had some heavy bags, and I would just do the same thing, except I would go all in at boxing the punching bag, and I would take a minute off and then go at it again. Take a minute off, go at it again, and I would do rounds. But guys, man, this really took a toll on my body. It's a lot of fun, and this is the actual type of cardio I'm going to start incorporating now, because my calories are higher and I can get away with more athletic training. As I continue increasing my calories, I'm going to start doing some more athletic stuff, guys. I'm at a very healthy body weight right now. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I kind of want to see if I can push those avenues again and see how my performance is, so I can really give you guys that feedback and be like, was this really worth it? Like, how does it help me, playing basketball or playing tennis? Like, I want to see how my performance is outside of the gym. So that's something I'm probably going to start doing soon. We already did a HIIT workout with my boys at Emory last week. If you're watching this, what's good? But yeah, guys, that's HIIT cardio for you. So that's how you optimize your cardio for fat loss. Those are my recommendations. And I stress, don't start your weight loss plan with cardio. I stress that over and over again. Get yourself in the gym, get your nutrition on point. You'll hit a wall eventually. Now we bring in cardio. So this is what I recommend doing. It's either low intensity, steady state cardio, which is what I do now. That's what I recommend if you had one to choose. If you really have the time and you have one to choose, low intensity is the way to go. Take your time with it. I say make it as low intense as possible. I rode the elliptical. That's hands down the best. Don't run. I repeat, don't run. It's the last thing you want to do. You want to use the elliptical even if you're doing high intensity cardio as well. I say pick the equipment that is the lowest intensity on your joints. That way you can focus on strength training. That's your focus. That is your focus the whole way through. Lift heavy, eat right, then the cardio comes into play. That's for optimizing fat loss. So now I want to take a switch. The world's been going through a pandemic. I'm training a lot of people. Sometimes it really isn't about optimizing fat loss. Not everyone's goal is to get a six-pack, which I understand. Shouldn't be your goal. Like, that's, it's once it gets to a certain point, guys, this lifestyle is not healthy. And I'll get to that in later videos. I'm going to share with you guys everything. And I promise you, I pushed it. I think you guys are starting to understand I'm pretty much an extremist. I can push things. I like to push things. And this is kind of a necessary evil of, selling on Instagram, but I will eventually get to that. So let's talk about optimizing your health, guys. Right now we're in a pandemic. There's a really bad virus going around called Corona, if you don't know already. Maybe you do. So here's what I recommend, guys. And here's what I see in the world. Everyone, I think, is taking precautions, which is good. But I think a lot of people place focus on the wrong precautions, in my honest opinion, guys. And a lot of the fitness industry agrees with my input on this. I really, really think that, people are focusing on the wrong areas in terms of being healthy and taking precaution, guys. I want you right now to take a look at your phone, pause this video, take a look at your phone. I want you to go to your settings, and please do this. Go to your settings. I want you guys to do this with me, and look at your screen time. How long are you on your phone? You're on your phone watching this video right now. I got you now. Look at your screen time, and look how many hours you spend on your phone. All those hours you spend on your phone are hours that you could be walking. I built a whole business during my cardio sessions with Gonzalo. We built an entire business, guys. There's no excuse right now. There's absolutely no excuse. And I'm sorry if I'm mad, because this is like, I think you guys, some of you need to hear this. Especially if you're not doing the exercise, if you're not eating properly, if you're not doing anything for your health right now, there's absolutely no excuse that you can't get out right now. It's beautiful and walk around while you're on your phone. That should be baseline, guys. I bet you're spending hours and hours on your phone, wasting time on politicians, on bullshit, which is cool. But what about your health, right? What about your health right now more than ever? There's a pandemic going on. It's killing people, guys. It's a real thing. But the thing that I don't understand is that you'll put a mask on your face, which, look, I'm all for it. Like, you'll do everything everything else, but get your diet right and get and do what's best for your health, guys. And the studies show it, guys. The professionals are saying you guys need to get out there and do your cardio. And you know what's a lot more scary to me? This whole pandemic was scary. You know what's even more scarier to me, guys? In 2050, 1 in 3 people are going to be diabetic, guys. Diabetic is also a top 10 killer. Heart disease is also a top 10 killer. Diabetes leads you to have stroke, leads you to have heart disease. Guys, that is a very real and very scary thing to see in this world, especially as someone who sees it, who's seen it in the health field. Like, you guys, you don't want to go down that route, man. Like, it's all it takes is a little bit extra effort, guys. I'm not exerting any energy right now by walking and just getting outside and getting your vitamin D. There is plenty of evidence showing that vitamin D deficiencies make you worse off if you get this virus. Guys, get outside, get some sun, man. Go for a walk. That's all you got to do. Don't make it too complicated, guys. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's really no excuse. You're sitting here on your phone listening to me ramble now for 5 episodes. Why can't you just take your phone and go listen to me outside, guys? Get yourself distracted. Get some headphones. I'm walking around. My phone's on a tripod, guys. Get yourself a tripod. Learn something new. I just bought Masterclass. There's so many things to learn there's so many things to learn in this world. Or even just listen to music. Talk on the phone with a friend. Like, multitask is what I'm saying, guys. Just multitask. This is effortless. And it's not an excuse. Don't say you don't have time, because there's plenty of fucking time right now. And I get mad because there's plenty of time. Like, don't say that you don't have time. It's not a real excuse. You're on your phone. Do work while you're walking. If it's a priority, you will make it a priority. So that's where I stand with that, guys. Don't forget to do your cardio. Like, bare minimum, if you're trying to do it for health, it's only 150 minutes of low intensity cardio or 75 minutes of high intensity cardio is bare min, guys. That's only 30 minutes 5 times a week. You have the time for that. You really do. Your priorities are just not straight. Take your phone out with you. Start walking. That's what I recommend, guys. If you've been watching the series, you've been tuning in, thank you so much. I'm sorry to go off on a little rant there, but it's just frustrating to me when I see the world doing things like completely backwards, but no one gives a shit about at the end of the day about their health and what's really the important thing here, guys. And I mean, it's not just me. Majority of the fitness industry thinks this. I don't understand why there's so much focus and everything but the real answer. Guys, optimizing your metabolic health, getting your exercise in, that's going to put you in a better situation long term. All right, guys, unfortunately, I can't make this video last forever as much as I want to. I'm already back at my place, but yeah, I got to get to eating because I'm like way behind on calories today. And like, I still have like 1,800 calories. I have to figure out how I'm going to eat right now because I also spent a lot of time doing cardio today because I was shooting this video. And that's where I kind of put myself in the situation. I knew that I was going to quit. I forced myself into not quitting cardio by like starting this series. So thank you so much. Like all of you guys who are watching, thanks for engaging. If you made it this far, leave a comment. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make another complete video on like the benefits of cardio in terms of optimizing your health. That'll probably be the next video. So I'm going to do some more research too. I have a lot of benefits to speak on just for myself. Doing cardio, guys, has changed my life. Like, this whole prep has completely changed my life. Doing all these amounts of cardios because I was building something while I was doing it. And I'll dive into it next episode. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of the week.